How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be continuing my Sharks of Summer series. Sharks of Summer is a series I do around here where once a week, at least once, I take a look at a shark movie. And today, we're going to be talking about the fourth and final entry into the Mega Shark series. This is Mega Shark Versus Kolossus. This is from 2015, and as always, put out by the Asylum. This was directed by Christopher Douglas-Olen Ray. And if that name sounds familiar, he's done lots of shark movies for the Asylum. The first two multi-headed shark attack movies, the previous entry in this series, well, not last, but the one before that, Mega Shark Versus Kolossus, and he also did a movie called Shark Week, the title being inspired by Discovery Channel's thing. So yeah, he's been around a lot. Personally, I thought Mega Shark Versus Kolossus was probably the weakest one, so I wasn't super excited for that movie's director to come back. But overall, I think he did a decent job. This is actually probably the second best one. We'll get to that more in a second. This movie stars Illeana Douglas, Amy Ryder, Ernest L. Thomas, and we also get a cameo appearance from Team Unicorn, which it puts on the front in the credit line, not as individual members, but just as the team there. Personally, I wasn't really sure who they are. Like, I looked them up on YouTube, and it appears that they were some, like, online group, and I don't think they're active anymore. If you guys know more about their history, feel free to tell me, but, it's just a cameo, even though it's listed on the front. Anyway, in this movie, a new Mega Shark is going to be going up against a giant... I think he's a cyborg. I mean, he's got red parts. Is that middle or is that, like, lab-grown flesh? I don't know. But he's going up against a giant cyborg that was a discarded Cold War project that wasn't supposed to come to life, and now we have a weapon running amok. Nature's deadliest creature against man's deadliest weapon. That's a good idea. It's kind of like Mega Shark, but this time completely unintentional, you know? And I thought that's a thing with this movie. Overall, it's pretty decent. That is, for Asylum shark movie standards. It has a clear focused plot that moves in one direction, which, for a normal movie, might not necessarily be something to compliment, but, you know, a focused Asylum movie that you can follow, it's worth noting. But there are some good ideas and some characters that are fun enough and memorable enough. Overall, most of it's totally passable, and I think there is enough cartoony fun. They definitely knew by this point people really like cartoony fun, and you look at the first two in the series, they were a little bit too serious, and then you get Mega Shark, and the series is starting to joke around a little more, do some funny things, and it's decent. It's pretty good. I was a little worried about it, but overall, it's fine. Now, that being said, we do have some cons, and they are pretty predictable Asylum cons. The beginning of this movie is a whole bunch of military babble. You know, fleets of ships, a bunch of Navy people on their walkie-talkies, blah, 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 red mercury, blah, 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 torpedoes. There is a bit of that, especially at the beginning. And then we also get with Colossus, and one of the bigger flaws of this movie is Colossus, for most of the beginning of this movie, is basically his own separate movie there. Like, Colossus and the other characters don't really interact much until the very end, And, like, before the end, any interaction is, like, super happenstantial. And it makes me wonder if Colossus started out as his own movie, and then they're like, not enough material, let's mash it into Mega Shark. Just a theory, but you never know. It is what it feels like. And they don't get together until the end. And when they do fight, they're both pretty cool designed, and, you know, I did like to see them fight. But what kind of kills it is they don't hold on it long. And it's this Hollywood thing where if you don't think it looks great, you don't hold on it too long so people can't see it looking too bad. And the thing is, I mean, like, I know this is Asylum, CGI, I don't expect much. I don't care if it looks bad. Hold on the CGI models fighting each other. That's what I'm here to see. And when they do fight, it's cool, but we get so many shots that are like, Colossus, punch the shark, cut away back to the aircraft carriers. I'm like, no, I don't care about the aircraft carriers. Stay with Colossus fighting the shark. But in turn, you do get where they just pull away a bit too much, you know, a few quick shots, and then back to stuff I don't care as much about. I'm like, I don't care if it looks bad. Stay on the cheap 3D models fighting each other. It's fun. That's what I want to see. And then there are a few other faults with this movie. There's this whole thing where it's like, Mega Shark is part of nature, and nature's balance. I'll get into that later. It is okay. You know, there is a little bit of dragging when you do the military babble stuff. But overall, this movie is totally passable. A decent bad movie night, not the cheesiest thing ever, but probably the second best entry in the Mega Shark series. I'd be curious to see your rankings, though. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk a bit about the plot. I'm not going to be doing any major spoilers, but that being said, I do want to say my piece on a few of the plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what the movie's about. No major spoilers, but let's analyze this movie a little bit. Anyway, we jump in with some people illegally mining red mercury, which is this strange new super powerful energy source people are discovering. And when they pull it up, I think they're actually pulling it up in a bag or something. It's a little hard to tell because of the, you know, quick cuts of the CGI. It looks like they're pulling it up in a bag, and a little baby Mega Shark is in the bag. And it's just an adorable visual. I don't know, just a little bag with a shark. Okay, Asylum, if you are watching this, Baby Yoda, super popular. Mega Shark Baby as a movie. That would be cool. Okay, I'm getting off topic. They found a baby Mega Shark, and it starts to wreak havoc, and the US government swoops in to stop the illegal mining and stop the shark. And they say, it doesn't make sense. How come there's another Mega Shark? Because apparently they've been blowing up the ice caps, trying to destroy any and all frozen Mega Sharks. Now look, I'm not an environmental scientist, but I don't think blowing up the ice caps is a good idea. I think it'd be better to just wait for the Mega Sharks. But anyway, they thought they got them all, but there is one more. And it turns out one of the sharks had a baby. It can apparently reproduce asexually and just lay eggs if it needs them. So we got that. And they deploy Team Unicorn. I don't know what happened to the Mega Shark program. I guess too much collateral damage. Team Unicorn has what looks like, I guess, killer whales or something. They're more just generic subs. I mean, they're Team Unicorn. They should have a giant unicorn mech, right? Anyway, they fight. There's some dumb fun, and then they all blow up. Yeah, you know, I said it was just a cameo, right? And the Mega Shark, not a scratch on it. That is one thing with this movie is, I get he's supposed to be big and powerful, but it really just seems like nothing touches it. And I do wish we had a little more damage and intensity with the battles, but it's more like nothing's gonna kill Mega Shark until the end of the movie, and you just kind of like he's Superman bouncing the bullets off of him. But anyway, after that, the military has a conference, and you get this female scientist there, and she starts to say, Mega Sharks are part of nature. Nature is releasing Mega Sharks to keep itself in balance, and we have to capture a Mega Shark, analyze it, and through science find the mystery of the Mega Shark to figure out how to appease nature? Okay, look, don't destroy the planet, I'm not saying that. But at the same time, nature doesn't think with a collective hive mind, and nature is like... Nature is cruel and uncaring. It just moves on. The Mega Shark went extinct, and now other things have taken its place. Nature didn't go, I better save me some Mega Sharks, because I'm gonna need them later, and then, when I need them, I'll release my Mega Sharks. I mean, you could say there's an environmental factor driving the Mega Shark's reoccurrence, but don't say that nature itself is thinking and planning to use its Mega Sharks. But of course, she's the point of view character, so she's right. There's another scientist that says, I'll use sound waves to lure it to one place and you guys can blow it up. And of course they go with that guy instead. The main character gets angry and storms away, and that's where this rich tech mogul finds her and says, join me and we will capture the Mega Shark. You know, the rich tech mogul character like in Sharknado 3 and whatever. You see these a few times. It's an excuse to bring in a whole bunch of technology and not really care about money or what the government would think about this stuff. But they go off on their own mission to try to capture Mega Shark instead of kill it, so you get the two opposing human groups there. And then in a whole nother movie, we get Colossus. Yeah, it feels like another movie. So, you get this CIA agent who's trying to intercept a deal to sell some red mercury, and they accidentally awaken Colossus, who is this old, giant Soviet-era mech. Looks a little bit like Attack on Titan. Again, I'm not sure how much of him is supposed to be organic or what, but you do get this whole thing where he's on land and Mecha Shark's in the water, and a bit of a contrast there. So the CIA agent, kind of off the books on a rogue mission, grabs the one guy the CIA has in the basement that just knows everything about Colossus. And apparently Colossus, they thought was just a Soviet-era myth, but apparently is really real. And the scientist who created him went missing, and they're going to have to track down this scientist and learn the secrets of Colossus's origin. It's a pretty decent story, and overall, probably could have been its own movie, which does make me wonder if it was at one point, but you get them trying to track him down and barely at all interacting with the Mega Shark plot for most of it. It really just jumps into this whole other movie, which might be why this movie chugs along pretty good, as it's got the plot of two movies in it. But the first time they ever interact is when their helicopter just so happens to be flying by the Mega Shark, and the Mega Shark bats its tail and hits the helicopter with a missile that was shot at it, so it kind of does like a tennis racket thing. That's a cheesy gag. There are some cheesy gags in here, but the people hunting Colossus just so happen to get saved by the tech mogul character, and they meet for a little bit, then go off and do their own movie again until it's time for the climax, where they will finally meet. And that is the thing, is Colossus is the one where the two monsters, they're both cool, but they have the least amount of interaction than all the other characters, you know? And they don't really do much together until the very end. And I will say, the reason that Colossus goes after the Mega Shark, I think is pretty funny. What they do, it's like, how do we lure this Soviet-era robot? I have an idea, and I won't say what it is, but the carrot on the stick plot for this is super hilarious. And when we do get the end point there, it is a pretty fun, dumb battle. I mean, Colossus at one point throws the Mega Shark into space, which of course it survives, but it's just, yeah, you do get fun, dumb, cartoony things, again, primarily confined towards the end bit there, but it does reach that stupid level, kind of like Mega Shark, where it did have a really good third act. This one's not as good as Mega Shark, but still pretty fun, pretty dumb, pretty cartoony, and they do focus on those gags, which is good. And they do try to think of some absolutely stupid stuff that is fun to laugh at. So overall, totally competent there. There's some good ideas. Hunting down the mystery of the scientist was pretty fun. The CIA agent, she's a pretty fun, rough and tumble, willing to go rogue character. It's, again, you know, super passable. I don't want to overhype this movie or anything, but I have to say, probably the second best in the Mega Shark series, and definitely worth checking out. Again, this whole series hasn't been to the level of Sharknado or anything, but for an Asylum Shark movie, pretty solid, and I can definitely recommend it. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Mega Shark series playlist, where you can see me review all the past entries in this series. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Mega Shark playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.